Hey guys, what is up? Once again it is Lovenji here, and we are still continuing with Warhammer Dark Omen. In the wake of a sweltering heatwave here in the United Kingdom, I didn't really want to be in the room recording at midday, so this video's a little later in the day, I'm afraid. But don't worry, it's still the same day. Anyway, this mission is going to be very interesting. It's going to be our first foray into exploring the true enemy of the campaign. I'm not going to talk anymore, let's get this underway.
You seem troubled, Klaus. Teufelsberg has become a town of fear and whispers. The townfolk murmur of hungry ghosts, pale faces peering in at the window, the unquiet dead.
Maybe they're just rattled at the prospect of greenskins at their doorstep. Greenskins wouldn't inspire this kind of dread. This is something unnatural. Let's hurry on south.
When my men have filled their stomachs, we'll leave. There's a man here whom I think you know. A wizard by the name of Luther Flamestriker.
Greetings, Commander Bernhardt. It has been some time since I last rode with you, and now you have need of me again.
And why should I need you again?
Look around you. Look at this haunted town. Dark magic in the air. And here I stand, a bright wizard to combat the dark.
A mage might prove invaluable, Morgan. Who knows what's up ahead?
Well, you were my mentor 20 years ago, Klaus, and your advice has usually been sound. So, very well. Join us, Flamestrike. Now, let's get back on the road. And to whatever's waiting for us.
Morgan! Grissburg town up ahead. It's under attack by the living dead.
Flamestrike warned us that we were heading into the dark. He meant the dark on the other side of the grave. The living dead. Then we'll make the living dead just plain dead. Attack!
Okay guys, we're deploying our troops in Mission 3. This mission takes place in the village of Grissburg. I don't know if I said that correctly, but hey. Now, the most interesting thing about this mission, based on what you've seen from the previous two missions, where we just deploy everyone, is we're actually going to leave a couple of units behind. Now, whilst the Carlssen cavalry are very, very strong, we don't actually want to utilise them for this mission, and one of the primary reasons we don't want to utilize them for this mission is they're actually too strong. They will kill a lot of the enemies in this mission and soak up that experience. And as they're temporary, we don't want them. We leave the cannon behind because it simply cannot shoot through all these buildings, so it's essentially worthless to us for this mission.
Enemy
I'm going to deploy in this sort of arrow formation that I've created and march forward.
Men. That which is dead may still burn.
What a ridiculous voice he has. I love it. What you want to do is place the infantry just behind that house, facing forward, and you'll see why. Zombies, which is what those units are with the skull banner, have a very interesting property. Unless they're a special unit and are hard-coded otherwise, when they flee, the unit will be destroyed instead of just fleeing with a chance to regroup. So what you want to do when engaging zombies is essentially force them to flee. But what you want to do is maintain this sort of Y-shaped formation with a wizard in the middle, well protected. The infantry are hiding behind that house, and I cast the wrong spell here.
Forward!
That was me not paying attention. I teleport my wizard behind the zombies. Fortunately, they can't turn around very quickly. So I very quickly throw a fireball and run.
Forward!
Sorry for that scream, it's not a great sound.
Target received!
Now, we reassign the crossbowmen to the other zombie unit to start whittling it down, and we get a flanking attack with the cavalry here.
Crush them! Forward!
Which immediately forces the zombies into retreat. So that's why we hide the infantry behind the building. The zombies will come around that building, spot the infantry, and try to engage them, which gives you a really easy flank with the cavalry. And that deals with that first unit with no casualties. So all you want to do with this zombie unit is pelt it with crossbows and fireballs from your Bright Wizard for as long as you possibly can, and then just engage it with the cavalry and support your cavalry with the Grudgebringer infantry. Very, very straightforward tactic stuff. The game doesn't get difficult yet. Try not to kill one of your cavalry with friendly fire, as I do there. Now, the wizard spells, while we're hovering over them, the wings, which is what I cast, teleports you somewhere on the map. The fireball throws a fireball, and the blue icon that looks like a wand is a dispel. It will protect the unit from one magical attack.
Enemy sighted.
Now, the blood-soaked headstone, I guess it is, represents ghouls. They are slightly stronger than zombies, but otherwise have similar properties. Now, as you know, the thunder cycle going off represents a magical use and is represented by that blue bar in the middle, slowly filling up. But you may notice that when that strikes, we get more of these little blue orbs next to the bar. Those are magical uses. So when I select the wizard, and you can see the fireball costs 1, and the teleport costs 2. That's your total use of magic. So that's how you actually control and do stuff with a wizard. Wizards can get into melee, but I don't recommend it, because they will die pretty quickly. The Bright Wizard is going to be one of our most damaging units throughout this game. We're going to be utilising him a lot. When you're casting Fireball, you can't see it because of my mouse cursor, but it's very important you cast it on the ground with an attempt to predict where the units are going to be, because otherwise you will often miss. Now, one of the differences between ghouls and zombies, as you can see, the ghoul unit is remaining intact even though it's retreating. It's one of the properties. The final zombie unit in this mission does not share the properties of its brethren. It can retreat and not be destroyed.
Enemy sighted.
Hitting tab will take you to that overworld map view where you can actually check the units. The skulls that represent their toughness and how many are in the unit, whether they're injured, and what they are.
Open fire!
So all we're trying to do is maintain that same formation in the hopes that once again we can get really good flank attack, because even though this unit won't be destroyed, if it retreats it still suffers normal retreating penalties of taking extreme damage while colliding with one of our units. I'm a lot more quieter in this than I am in Populous, mostly because I love the sound design so much.
Open fire! Enemy sighted.
Yes, my lord.
Hold fire!
Charge! Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. Aye, sir.
So at this point I was unwilling to roll the dice on whether the zombies would immediately flee.
Charge!
And I missed the charge on the ghouls, which is very dangerous for me.
Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord.
So your crossbowmen can get into melee. They're pathetic at it, and as you can see,
Aye, sir.
fear is a mechanic in this game. And if your units are terrified, they'll run away without even engaging in melee, as you can see here. It's good for us because it actually wastes the ghouls' time with that charge, and I get to pelt them a little more with the Bright Wizard, while the cavalry can turn around.
Forward! We're under attack! Regroup!
Yes, my lord.
With the crossbows regrouping and the infantry routing those zombies, it's timed pretty much perfectly for us. We can engage with the second group of ghouls and hope for the best. But once again, this is the second mission in a row where my cavalry take a bit of a beating.
Yes, my lord.
But fortunately, they run away mid-charge.
Charge!
And a quick charge of the infantry into the flank are going to do great for us.
Watch your fire!
And I take some more friendly fire.
Forward!
So that zombie unit
Forward.
there represents the final unit of the game, I believe.
Aye, sir.
And that is all we have to defeat to complete this mission.
Yes, my lord. Aye, sir.
I am, once again, as I've mentioned, the importance of experience. I am trying to annihilate that Ghoul unit so that I get the experience for killing it. And I accidentally charged the wizard. And you can imagine my fear at this point. The wizard running towards the zombies like that. What a brave man.
Charge!
Engage.
Charge! To the death!
I always like how the head gets closer and further away from the portrait.
Enemy destroyed! We are victorious!
Interestingly, that portrait for the zombie there is actually the portrait for the wight, which is a unit you'll see later in the game. A very terrifying unit that you'll see later in the game. But yes, that concludes Mission 3 in Grissburg. I'll be quiet for the post-game, but as always I'll scan through and you'll get to see that footage. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the outro. Well guys, that was Mission 3, and as you can now see, our true enemy is the undead. This is a pretty straightforward mission, and in fact the hardest thing about the mission is remembering what units to leave behind. Trying to find a place for the cannon to fire in amongst all those buildings is nigh on impossible, and it really is just better to leave it behind. Anyway, as always, like, share the video, comment, subscribe, let me know what you'd like to see me do differently, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.